She was such a pretty girl, Stella Horan resumes, lighting another cigarette. I've seen some high school pictures of her and that horrible fuzzy black and white photo on the cover of Newsweek. I look at them and all I can think is, dear God, where did she go? What did that woman do to her? Then I feel sick and sorry. She was so pretty, with pink cheeks and bright brown eyes, and her hair the shade of blonde will darken and get mousy. Sweet is the only word that fits. Sweet, bright, and innocent. Her mother's sickness hadn't touched her very deeply. Not then. I kind of started up awake and tried to smile. It was hard to think what to do. I was loggy from the sun, and my mind felt sticky and slow. I said, "Hi." She was wearing a little yellow dress, sort of cute, but awfully long for a little girl in the summer. It came down to her shins. She didn't smile back. She just pointed and said, "What are those?" I looked down and saw that my top had slipped while I was asleep. So I fixed it and said, "Those are my breasts, Carrie." Then she said, very solemnly, "I wish I had some." I said, "You have to wait, Carrie. You won't get them for another, 8 or 9 years. "No, I won't," she said. "Mama says good girls don't." She looked strange for a little girl, half sad, half self-righteous. I could hardly believe it, and the first thing that popped into my mind also popped right out of my mouth. I said, "Well, I'm a good girl, and doesn't your mom have some?" She lowered her head and said something so softly I couldn't hear it. When I asked her to repeat it, she looked at me defiantly and said that her mama had been bad when she made her, and that was why she had them. She called them dirty pillows, as if it was all one word. I couldn't believe it. I was just so dumbfounded. There was nothing at all I could think to say. We just stared at each other, and what I wanted to do was grab that little scrap of a girl and run away with her. And that was when Margaret White came out of her back door and saw us. For a minute she just goggled at as if she couldn't believe it. Then she opened her mouth and whooped. That's the ugliest sound I've ever heard in my life. It was like the noise of a bull alligator would make in a swamp. She just whooped. Rage. Complete insane rage. Her face went just as red as the side of a fire truck, and she curled her hands into fists and whooped at the sky. She was shaking all over. I thought she was having a stroke. Her face was all scrunched up, and it was a gargoyle's face. I thought Carrie was going to faint or die on the spot. She sucked in all her breath, and that little face went a cottage cheesy